Hey, I'm Kyle, and today we're going on a road trip. We're driving from Detroit to Washington, D.C. It is about a 10-hour drive, has 4 charging stops along the way. We've updated to the latest full self-driving. I should pull up which version that is. So we are 12.5.4.1 on this. So we are on a road trip. In this version, we don't really have to touch the steering wheel or the pedals for that matter. It is the whole car is being operated autonomously, even the windshield wipers, turn signals, all that fun little stuff. The only thing I have to do is supervise. So I'm sitting here looking ahead. The camera is watching me watch the road, making sure that I'm paying attention. Now, in reality, I'm looking for debris on the road. I'm looking for weird stuff. The car still has a few spots that it does some wonky things, so I usually know when that's going to happen, so I can pay some extra attention. But being able to relax a little bit more, enjoy my surroundings, is really beneficial. Also, with the GPS, it knows which lane it wants to be in. So if you're going to a city that you are unfamiliar with or is new to you, oftentimes a regular GPS will say, "Oh, you take this right, and there's 3 rights coming right in sequence," and it's easy to get confused. This car puts itself in the correct lane, makes all the right turns. It just gets you where you need to go, and there's no stress in especially in areas that you haven't been before. So I think it's pretty fantastic. Again, as you can see, I haven't touched any of the controls. I'm just fulfilling my duty of looking straight ahead. All right, I wanted to go over some basic autopilot features and settings. First of all, with this latest software release that I just got a week, maybe two ago, it is primarily visually based. There's a camera right here that watches me, literally has retina detection, looks at my pupils, and tries to make sure that I'm paying attention to the road. So it checks where I'm looking, whether I'm looking ahead, whether I'm looking at the display, the camera, whatever. So I am going to uh, show you a demonstration of how this works. Now, you may have noticed already, I am going down the highway at 80 miles an hour, and I am not touching the pedals. I am not touching the steering wheel. I am just looking forward. The car is driving fully autonomously. That's kind of what this blue line shows here on the display. Um, those unfamiliar with Teslas, I've got a navigation set point, and the car is autonomously driving me both back ways as well as highway. It is handling lane changes, turning, all of the above. Again, just making sure that I'm paying attention. Now, I can stare at this display for a little too long, and it will then tell me to pay attention to the road. Uh, I was purposefully trying to show you that it gets grumpy, and that's the first time it's been really grumpy. So auto steer unavailable for the rest of the trip. That literally means the car's angry at me, and I need to pull over, put it in park, and get out. Once I complete the drive, it will go back to driving fully autonomously when I get back in the vehicle. So a simple stop, and that will solve that. If you're bad enough, you get strikes. I don't believe that was actually a strike. I could double check. But after 5 strikes, your full self-driving feature goes away for a week as a penalty, to make you pay more attention and be aware. After all, the federal laws dictate that the human must be paying attention at all times. That's going to end this little clip so that I can pull off the highway, do a little jig, get back in the car, and get back in the video. All right. Well, that was my first strike. First strike I've had in a long time. So I'm glad you got to experience that with me. Again, the strikes are you get 5 strikes, and then you lose privilege of the self-driving for a week. I do believe they accumulate, and then maybe it's a week, and then they remove a strike at a time. So it's a buffer that can go up and down based on your habits. But as I was saying earlier, I do feel that it's pretty strict. For those that may be a little uncomfortable with these technologies, this one you're not getting away with looking sideways, let alone falling asleep. So but if I pay attention and do what it wants me to do, look forward, monitor the path ahead, I literally don't have to do anything. We are getting off the highway. We'll see how smooth this is. Sometimes this is a little jerky. See right here? That's a little wonky. So getting off, it wants to. Maybe it wants the lane center a little too hard. So, 70 mile an hour right over on an exit ramp. I don't know, a little pucker factor. Anyways, I have not touched the steering wheel. I have not touched the pedals. I am letting the car navigate, and I am clearly I'm paying attention to satiate what it wants to see. We are going to merge from the left into oncoming traffic right here. We'll see what this version does. The software updates every few weeks, and sometimes it acts a little different. Very natural right there. Sometimes it waits to the end. That just kind of snuck us in real nice right there. So I find that the self-driving feels uncannily human. Um, it does a lot of things that people would do, with the caveat of they've designed this with safety in mind. So you'll notice, we're a few car lengths behind the car in front of us. I assume that's from looking at traffic safety data, and give us plenty of buffer to stop for one, but we should not be tailgating. But it does permit people to get in front of autonomous vehicles if they want. Pearl will be far too polite. If someone puts on their blinker, they'll just let them in. So you can cover throttle, and you can add throttle. The set speed, so it looks at the posted speed signs, and it makes up its mind its maximum speed. Now I can scroll here. Let me pause this. I can scroll in order to change the set speed. Now we don't really want to go that fast, so let me slow us down here. And then the other thing that we have is on this scroll wheel, right and left, you can see the level of assertiveness. So chill is really chill. It's not, maybe it's a little over the speed limit. Average is probably, say, 7 over. And assertive feels like it tries to schedule about 10 over. I tend to drive in assertive. Assertive also tends to want to stay in the left lane. I do manually get over sometimes. The average mode does a lot of getting over. I think historically gets over too many times when it doesn't have to. So anyways, it manages all of the above. I've not touched any pedals. I want to keep reiterating that. I'm just trying to pay attention to traffic so that it doesn't yell at me and give me another strike. But this does kind of transform your way of travel. You're not as tense. I find on long trips, I still have a little bit of energy. I can engage when I show up, even after an 8 to 10 hour trip. It is more like being a passenger. And this time, as we get into the fall, if I'm able to look at the scenery a little bit as we go, that really makes it more enjoyable for me. I love doing fall color tours. There's no better time of year for me, especially with an autonomous vehicle. All right, we are taking an exit, and we're going to go through a toll booth. Now, I have not seen what this version of full self-driving does with the toll booth, but we're going to find out together. So, let's see what happens. Now, we do have an easy pass. I have no idea how the car can tell one way or another. But let's see what it does here. Got no one to the right. Where are we going, Pearl? Where are we going, Pearl? Are we doing it? Oh, yeah. Good, good. Easy pass lane. Don't hit that fucking curb. Okay. Going nice and slow. Pass accepted. Okay, go. I'm adding throttle. I'm actually touching throttle. Otherwise, I think it kind of wanted to stop. So that's not bad. Little wonky there, but it did, it was not marked as 2 lanes, but it was as wide as 2 lanes. The car does love lines, but it can figure it out even without. So, and you can see we've been banking a bunch of clover leaves, and in general, the car's doing all right. I don't know why it was complaining right there, but it seems to be doing all right. And we are coming up to a charger. So we've got 11 miles to a charging stop. Let's see how it merges onto the highway here. Not bad. Little wonky. Kind of a little jerk at the end, but there's a guy in 2 lanes over. I guess you can't really see it in the picture. A car might have been a little close, so. But I did not intervene, even if it was a little wonky. The car still managed all of the above. Now we are in the far right lane on a 3-lane highway, and I would expect us to put on our turn signal here soon in order to get into the next lane. Oh, instead we're slowing down. Wonder why. Okay. Okay, we slowed down because there's an SUV passing on the left, and now we are speeding up and getting behind them. They were way back there. I would have passed. I would have pulled out. I don't know what that says about me. But I think there was a ton of room there. I'm surprised it waited, but maybe it just saw he was going a ton faster. All right, I am at my first charging stop, so I'm going to walk you through what this looks like for me. We have 31% right now. I'm not sure how long we're going to be here, but let's plug in. So, real quick, all we got to do is grab the plug, push the button, plug her in. Now, while the car is charging, I am hungry. So, go right back here and can raid the fridge. So, you can't tell I love Costco. So we're gonna go. Oh yeah, we're gonna grab some chicken bites. Mm-hmm. Yep. I've got water in the car. This will be good. All right. Back in. Now, for the uninitiated, when you stop at a charging stop like this, oftentimes, if it's a high power charger, you might get away with only, say, 15 or 20 minutes. This says 10 minutes on this one right now for us to go, which is pretty fast. So restrooms are over there. Trash can is right there. That's very convenient. The restroom is a bit of a walk from here, but funny enough, it's hard to run to the restroom and get back in the 9 minutes left charging on the car. So I am going to sit here and eat my chicken bites, and 10 minutes, and I'll be right back on the road. So here we are on the highway, and again, the car is in full self-driving, and we're currently in the left passing lane out of three. I want to show you how the car executes a lane change. So it is not asking for it, but I can request one by simply putting on the turn signal. It's going to show right here the lane. It's going to clear the lane before it makes the change and then comes back in. Now we're going to get too close to this car up here, and see, now we're slowing down because I put us into this lane. And now it's choosing to get back into the fast lane. It clears the lane and makes the change all on its own. The car's also choosing its max set speed. This is in aggressive mode, which tends to be the fastest. The three levels seem to have a slight difference in speed, say 5 over, 7 over, 10 over. That's at least my feel of what I've experienced with them. They also tend to, in aggressive mode, it tends to not get out of the left lane very often. More or less manually request it to get into the other lane. Whereas in the other modes, it tends to really like to slide in and stay all the way over to the right. Um, Although I think in general, if there were only two lanes, the car does seem to have preference for the left. I'm not sure why. Okay, we're sitting here charging up again, and I wanted to go through and give you some helpful pointers. I like to load the floor of the back seat with water and snacks. I've also got that trash can that goes kind of like Velcro attaches to the center console. So my water, I've got a case of water right here in the middle. I can grab. Um, 1 second. I can grab water at will from the case and put it back. I've got some snacks down here. So whenever I get hungry, I also tend to, I've got a roll of paper towels. I've got a few other little snack items. So it makes it really easy to kind of like grab and go, well, whether you're on the road or whether you're parked and charging. Of course, there is the refrigerator in the back. So I usually have a lot of food with me. So I don't always need to eat whatever wherever I stop. But it is nice for rest stops to have not just food options, but you kind of want to have a trash can, a restroom, and or food options. So we're here at a rest stop in Ohio. The rest stops are pretty decent, but it is a pretty good walk to the bathroom here. Whereas once we get into Pennsylvania, for example, there's going to be an awful lot of sheets. So you're at a gas station. It's a little bit closer. They do have hot food as well as some other items that are kind of like grab and go. So that's a good mix of what you're going to see out there, and I hope you're enjoying so far. I wanted to show you how the car changes lanes. We just did a 2-lane change because this 4-lane highway is now going to split into two. But this will then merge into a few more lanes. Again, it's navigating all the turns, so steering, acceleration, deceleration, all the above. Fully autonomous. I am just monitoring, supervising the car and making sure that there's no debris, anything like that weird on the road ahead. Um, so hopefully you can see that we're going around a turn. We have another 2 lanes that are oncoming here. So we're going to merge and then condense. So the car is going to progressively move its way to the left. Quite a lot of turns. And the car does a great job of keeping itself centered. It manages its speed. The car is able to pass other vehicles on the road. So as it finds someone going a little slower than it in front, it will put on the turn signal and move over. It does tend to enjoy the left lane, if I'm being honest. I'm not sure if that's for safety or whatever reason, but if there were only two lanes, it tends to prefer the left. See, now we've gotten close enough to this vehicle with our speed. It's put on the turn signal. You'll notice it has a camera on the side. It checks your blind spot, so that it's always clear when it makes the check. So then it takes the pass, moves into the other lane. You'll notice we do have a little bit of inclement weather here. It started to rain a little bit. It's not that bad. The car hasn't complained. There we go. There we go. Poor weather detected. So when it starts to rain, it automatically kind of throws a warning saying that things may be degraded. I honestly can't tell much degradation, but what is more interesting is the vehicle will start slowing itself down. So when the rain gets heavier, it'll say basically maybe we'll only go 5 over the speed limit, and then it gets a little bit heavier, and it's like, look, we're going the speed limit. And then there are conditions where it starts to even derate below the speed limit. So kind of, similar to what a human may do when weather gets bad. You may have some may throw caution to the wind, but you may choose to slow down. The car does that automatically, a little bit annoyingly on occasion, but it does it on its own. It is choosing its own speed. They came out with, I guess, Auto Speed Max right here. Now, I can scroll up and I can scroll down. I don't want to make this thing go crazy, but I can adjust the speed, the set speed. And again, we can adjust the levels of aggression on the car, 3 levels of aggression, from super chill to aggressive. This whole way, again, I'm just monitoring. I'm paying attention. I'm checking out this cool car about to pass us here. I think we got an Atlas. Get sharp. Anyways, I'm not driving. I am supervising, and there's an important distinction. Now, the Tesla Robotaxi, I guess, was just announced recently. Um, Almost there. I'm hoping a few software updates, Elon, and we'll be in business. This thing's amazing. So take it those extra few steps will really go a long way.